taking a taxi to Mt Popa, but not to the tourist gauntlet, but to a resort, and from there I climb up the mountain to the top of what apparently was an old volcano. Out in the country, and it's very pretty, very agricultural, of course. Oftentimes deep swales like this and runoffs, because just like Arizona in the wet season, they have torrential rains that collect and flow across the land. Or off the asphalt onto dirt. Don't know for how long. The problem is with a right lane, right side of the car, driver's side, as the driver can't see what's coming on the left side in order to pass. The whole series of people here, I can't tell whether they're begging or trying to get a ride. You get water to your home if you don't have it. I'm now at Popa Mountain Resort, not the tourist gauntlet mountain, which is really a volcanic plug. And that mountain resort is actually up there. We'll go back up there on the way back down. That's where I started, but we'll end up there. Go up that road just a little ways, and then I hit another path that goes off to the left. And apparently, for quite a distance, the path shortcuts across this kind of a road, I think. Both their map and my map suggest that. Our first interesting something or other. 3 stupas that appear to be mounted on some kind of a boat, which is actually part of a slab of rock. As we continue up this hill, have not yet gotten to the supposed turnoff to the left yet. Looking back down the trail, I'm now at the first intersection. It goes off to the left, this little road here, versus this one that continues on up. So I assume it's this one, so this is the one I'm taking, and there's a butterfly there. Or 2. Pretty flowers alongside the trail and butterflies dancing about. Kind of monument with these incense sticks that have burned away, and a couple of flags that must have something to do with this rock. And somebody spent enough time here to dump their bottles. There's some flowers, look like poinsettias, they're so large. First goal is to get to those antennae in a loop around to the left and up. My first goal is to get up to that antenna, if that's where the road has to go, and I think it does. And then if I have what it takes, then that first pagoda and then the final pagoda up on top. But I don't know if I've got enough strength to pull that one off. The stiff climb up here, so I won't be going any farther. Besides, it's 2 o'clock and it's just, I think I've got enough time to get down within my time frame. Anyway, here's the view. Can't see too much, of course. There's a close-up of the stupa up here. The men that are up here are 2 men, and they apparently stay for a week shift. There are the other temples I will not be going to. Can you imagine hauling the stuff up there to build those? Huh. It's a rugged country up in here. Not sure how far these mountains go from here. It may just be a singular little range. So I will scoot back down. Something to make the guests feel like they're here. Quite clever, really. The back building of the Shwe Nadi hostel. It's a newer building and it's great. This is my really expensive room I'll show you. This is my outside little patio. And this is the room. It has 2 beds. The first 2 nights I shared it with a fellow that I met, young paramedic from Oakland, California, for 2 nights at the outrageous price of $13 for each of us. It has its own bathroom. Typical Asian bathroom in the sense of sink and toilet, and the shower is there, and the whole bathroom is the place for the shower. And then you have what they call a bum gun. You can figure out where the name comes from, but you use that also for spraying the floor to keep it clean. In addition, this nice sized refrigerator. The last 2 nights, last night and tonight, I share with another fellow from Israel because they were very short of space. And he needed a room, and I said, fine, just put him in with me, that's fine, $13 a night again. Otherwise it cost me a really outrageous amount of $20 a night. That is served to you in lots and lots of what they normally would serve for breakfast. I'm going to do a simple little walkabout on my day off here. I'm just above the P in policy is where I started. Actually, I'm not there. I'm just starting to take this diagonal. It goes from the northwest to the southeast, and I'm going to walk down, hit that main road, and then up to where you see it saying market, and we'll explore the old market. Just a pretty little entryway, for some reason announcing the date it was probably built. Is that diagonal road. Get to see some more of the back streets, the way people really live. Probably within 5 to 10 years all of this will change. They'll get somehow bought up and converted. Houses function as houses and shops. Been traditional in the Myanmar culture in cities as well as in the remoter countryside. The woman sets up a little stand selling whatever it is that she makes or cooks that the community can use, and the man is doing his thing, farmer, whatever. Here, an interesting, relatively modern-looking building. Not a tourist area we're walking, close to it, but there's no reason for tourists to come down these roads. And so, except by happen chance, a cooking stove here. This is the permanent state of retirement of dogs in Myanmar. Old stupa. Here, anything can move, will be allowed to move until it absolutely has no capacity to justify its existence. This is very much a farm utility, as nowadays a city utility, in the sense that this is probably a power extra drive. Notice that pulley there that you can put a belt on, as well as that big one up there. A local shrine. The locals are warehousing here for whatever the reason. They set up a shop for the locals. Bamboo chairs or recliners are seen all over the place for sale or in actual use, like this one. Some of them surprisingly comfortable. And I just imagine what it would be like if you could get a boatload literally to the States, what they'd be worth. A quiet look at this rig. And it looks like, yeah, a little place to catch the poop from the horse. Probably reused in farming. There he keeps his little whip. Don't have any idea what these little things would be for. Maybe lights standards. I've seen lights on these. And then the people sit in the back here. If it's for tourists, it will be cushioned. And maybe they throw a cushion on this one. It's not on there now. Here looks almost like a factory, but this family may use this kindling for their own cooking and or for sale. I don't know. Looks pretty well organized. Little garden there, in fact. Looks like soil, but my guess is that it's horse manure that will be warehoused here until it can be used in some kind of farming system. Here may be an old stupa, a monastery complex. Notice the pile of brick over there. Optimistically hoping to put in some kind of walkway and making some kind of frames, perhaps for windows or whatever. Always making that for a cross piece there. It's like a new structure being put up, whether it is not a home, but maybe just an entryway building. Don't know. Mingalava. Interesting cart I haven't seen before. One that's pulled by humans. Maybe the community wood pile or trash pile, I'm not sure. Satellite TV. Go back to that street I was walking on because I saw these large slabs of, don't know whether they're cement, I think they're cement stone that's been dumped there. Not cement, they're metal, but they've been punctured, I can see. I wonder if they were somehow filled with water and used as ballast for a bridge or a ship or something. Once in a while she puts her hand up to adjust the balance, or maybe to turn her head, but otherwise she doesn't. Family or mini community of not only the carriages for tourists, but other functions. It's like a sales operation for motorcycles and maybe e-scooters, like a whole factory complex. Those mats on that mat, they would dry out something. Peanuts, sesame seeds, and then obviously from the motor we hear processing. It's probably an automatic oil press. I saw a backhoe, the first I think I'd seen in Myanmar, and I'd seen a couple of brand new good-sized tractors. This is probably a reflective of the rapid evolutionary upward of the economics of Myanmar. Intersection of this most southern of those two east-west arterial roads that go down to Old Bagan and This end, which up to the left here, goes up to the main market and then connects with the northern of those two roads. This sidewalk here has been swept. It's probably in anticipation of cleaning it up even more so. It's slowly happening. See, brush and debris has been piled up in anticipation of the next greater effort of removing it. The course is usually filled up with bags of rice or cement. It carries the heavy loads around here. This little water feature, I'm not sure if it has a practical use or not. Close up of the device normally used to haul water, maybe something else. Probably they're taking stuff that's been bought to take out to the village or bringing it in. Local restaurant, and we think we're getting near the market now. Looks like more and more commercial businesses here on the main drag. Produce section. Ah, nice oranges. Wish I'd have found this the first day. Tomatoes and cauliflower. Oh, there's my stuff maybe. Just the kind of freneticness you love in a market. Long green beans are always intriguing. Hello. Oh. What are these things? Never seen this before. It's always fascinating to me when I come into a market somewhere, usually in Asia, and I see something I've not seen in the maybe 100 other large markets I've been in. A little restaurant where everybody who comes here to do their work can eat, and another. These pretty baskets probably made out in the villages somewhere. Yeah. Dried fish. Whether this comes from the ocean or not, I don't know. My guess is that it somehow comes out of the Irrawaddy River, but you don't know for sure. People sit up there and have their own little lunch. Market just ranges on through here, and you wonder how, like with all these bananas, which are everywhere in this society, how they make any money, and what happens to the old ones. This will be a smaller version of what we've seen in Yangon, and perhaps a goodly number of the items we're seeing here come from the market that we were in Yangon. It would make sense. Things that are made in that little shop the girls work on next door each night. Plants. Egg market. More of the same, more vegetables. Certainly it feeds the restaurants and the individuals in town, but a lot of it has to be left over the next day. The biggest problem with selling these is being able to sit in the midst of it all. But for a culture that loves dried fish, and that's Southeast Asia, the right cook, knowing the right ways, makes fantastic dishes that you can cut up for your face. There's some spices to knock you on your ass. How this oil is sold: peanut oil, sesame oil. And strain it here and then pour it into the container you want. Call this?
Bamboo shoot.
Oh, bamboo shoot.
Yes.
Oh, okay. See the use of those little bowls that I'm trying to score one out to make, they're going to melt, this is silversmith here, so they're melting some kind of ore. And then this man over here fashions probably jewelry from it. Back there I think they're making probably jewelry from it. It looks like finer work, whatever they're doing. And I want to buy one of those little things, so here we see. He's cleaning off that ingot of gold they just poured. Well, now I have an authentic, good souvenir of men who are artists. So this is a legitimate souvenir. Large volumes of oil. This is where the people in those villages will sell that oil that they make in their individual villages or in their homes or little factory homes. The kind of fruit this is. Brokers for rice. Buy your eggs wholesale and apparently corn. In the village I was in, the various products that the farmers grew in that village they did not consume themselves and sold them. And then they bought here what they needed to eat. Presumably that was not a duplication. And there's the man who makes his money by taking care of the soil. I don't know if he takes care of it or just takes the money. I think there's something alluring about whatever kind of oil this is. Just can't figure out how to land and grab some. Another section of the market, a totally different building. Some kind of candy or tamarind. Oh, those are nice. Those are, I think, yeah, they're those little discs I get in the restaurants. And all the kinds of basketware that you would want.
Basket?
And here are all kinds of baskets for the restaurateurs or the families because they cook large amounts of stuff like Latinos. Kind of getting into more of the tourist stuff that shops might need. They can then sell it at a higher price to the tourists, as well as all of the clothing and cookware that the locals themselves might need, including dishes and so forth. This is the original Walmart, characterized in difference by incredible multiplicity of same product. And here your local seamstress with her manual singer, although I think she has this one wired up. Yep. It's a smaller one. No, it's called a typical. Not this. No, it's, yeah, it is a singer. See? Probably even one of their semi-commercial ones in its day. Using a hand-operated singer. Yeah. Very nice. Jesube. So here you get an idea of the size of this market. I didn't even know it existed until yesterday, I think. If you ever wonder what happened to Singer machines, here they are in Asia. Here's a man who knows how to repair them. These are the noodles that I sometimes have. Fried noodles. Fried noodles? Yeah. These are some kind of soya. Probably a meat substitute kind of thing, but used in cooking. Huh. A bunch of pineapples and various kinds of melons and squashes. That's watermelon up on top. That looks like and it skips my mind. He's some kind of pumpkin, it looks like. See lots of what we call Napa cabbage. There's kinds of pastes of some sort. Probably made from beans and or peanuts. It's a very curious kind of thing.